Hello, hello. Welcome everybody to the Purpose Pivot interview series. Today I have with me Terri McClain.
Hello, everybody. Hello, Karen. How you doing today?
I'm doing well. Thank you so
Awesome.
much for
Awesome.
coming.
No problem.
Listen, she says it's no problem, y'all, but this lady is doing all the things, right? So Terri, why don't you tell the people just a few of the things that you do? Like, who is Terri McClain and what is she doing today?
Okay, so who is Terri McClain? I am a new wife. We're still in our second year of marriage. I'm a
Newlyweds.
yes. Um, I'm a business owner. I'm an entrepreneur. I feel like I'm a philanthropist. Like I want to do a lot of different things. I'm definitely a leader in the community. What we've done at TNP Estates and Talks with Terry Inc. We pretty much have built a nonprofit where we have housing programs. We help those that are homeless. We do a lot of like taking people in from the hospital. So for me, I'm very busy. I said before, I didn't imagine that I was going to be here. I just wanted to have my own group home.
Mhm.
And now, like, explain it or expanding with business and being a leader. Like, at first, all we thought about was like, okay, I'm the boss. But now it's like, venturing me into being a better leader, a better person in general. So I do a little bit of everything, but that's it in a nutshell.
Can we say about her father's business?
Definitely, definitely a kingdom like that. Like God is definitely my father. Like I feel like He said I can do it all, so He'll give me the strength to do it all.
Amen. I hear you. And I love that you use the word kingdom because I'm all about kingdom alignment, right?
Okay.
Just doing what the Lord has called you to do.
Okay, definitely.
Amen. So I want to tell the people, like, we're from the same small town.
Yes, like low key, like we like sisters, like sister cousins. So yeah.
But y'all, Terri was on the right side of the tracks. So don't let her fool you now. So when did you first feel this call to start this expanding this?
So I feel like I used to tell people it's more like I provide more than just housing.
Mm.
I feel like I wanted to be what I want. I wanted to be what other people would need. I wanted to be what I needed when I was starting my business, when I was um, even in my career. I always knew I had the strength of being a leader, but it was just like, I guess just like I've worked for like major facilities around the area. I just felt like it was just always like I wanted greater. Like I felt like God had called me to do something greater. Like I talked to me and my mom talk all the time, and she would tell me like, the doctor said I couldn't have you, and then I had you, and then from there like I just poured my all into you. I changed my ways. For me I'm like, wow, like God chose me. Like He chose me to do this, and so I just always wanted better for myself. Like I didn't want to just stay stagnant. Like that wasn't me.
So she is here on purpose, walking in her purpose.
Yes, for sure.
I recently saw a post that you made, and it really resonated with me. You said, people see strength, but they don't see the cost.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that cost.
I think people do always like people will tell me you're so strong. My mom even said we were actually having this conversation today. She was like, people say I'm so strong, and she was like, but they don't know, what I go through, like, and I'm not going to share her story, but
Right.
for me, it was where people see, oh, you got this home, you got that home, you got all these clients, you got this going on, you got this business, you got the husband, you got everything you want. But they didn't see like times of my loss, my sadness. They didn't see where, I've been in situations where my lights were going to get cut off. I've been in situations where I've been in situations where God have saved me, and He just started to speak to me. I've lost people who are very close to me. I think it's just trying to just rising above, like, and I think that's what strength comes from. People don't know the cost. People don't know the times where, I don't say much. I don't talk
Right.
about when people hurt my feelings or when people do me wrong or when I've been dragged or whatever the case. But I
Mhm.
think it's just where it's not that I'm trying to hide it or anything, but I feel like it's where you just got to keep rising. Life is
Rise
happening
above.
to all of us. So,
Hmm.
I think that's where it comes from.
Oh yeah. So how did faith show up different for you during those hard seasons? Like how did your faith really shine through?
So I think it's just staying close to the ones who matter, right? The ones who are pouring into you. At such a young age, I always been in church, but I just loved how God would speak through people, and
Mm-hmm.
he would, I could be going through something. I may not even say I was very quiet coming up, but I noticed like I went to church one time and it was just where I was like, oh my God, like this person is just speaking to me and
Yeah.
like this is resonating with me. I feel like faith definitely carried me through like a lot of my hard times, like
Mm-hmm.
losing my fathers. I felt like if I could not like if I didn't depend on God, I don't know where I would be. I think it's just the staying in his word,
Mm-hmm.
remembering what he told me, remembering the promises that he made. I think that's pretty much for me, and that's why everybody's like you're a church girl. I'm not. I'm a faith girl. Like I
That's
gotta stay close to.
that's a
I
difference.
gotta stay close to the source because I know that he's the one who is going to carry me. He's the one who's gonna help me get through the situation. And that's in the Bible. That's what he tells us. We
Mhm.
just gotta have faith. We gotta trust
Mhm.
him that through everything that we go through, that he's gonna be there to to be with us and guide us through.
Man, that was a word for me. I'm not a church girl. I'm a faith girl. Y'all hear me?
Right. I mean,
So Terry, you talked about, I mean, you have your T&P estates and you and your husband have real estate properties all over the place, and you have the Solace Wellness Center.
Mhm.
So you started with T&P estates. Let's talk about that pivot into these other avenues.
So when I first started TMP, and we're about to be 8 years old now,
Wow.
this year will be 8 years old,
Mhm.
and so when I started TMP, it was all about just like again, I just wanted to have my own group home. I wanted,
Mhm.
I worked at the training center,
Yeah.
and for me, it was where I just wanted to continue. I was like, I'm in this field, I might as well continue it,
Yeah.
have my own group home, and hey, I live happily ever after. But then it was just where I saw the need.
Yeah.
It was just like so many people needing care services, so many people needing housing.
Mm.
And then for me, it was where like getting people in. But
Yeah.
then I had to have a moment to where, my husband had asked me, he's like, when is enough enough?
Mm.
And I said,
Mm.
you're right. And then from that moment, I just started seeing how people didn't, people wanted my care services. They didn't realize that I was providing the housing, the staff to come in there to assist them.
Mhm.
I'm trying to be lenient with everybody, like allow people to be very independent.
Mm.
I think what happened was where I just, my husband, he had this vision for Solace, and he was like, we're gonna buy this building. And I was like, well, you
Uh-uh.
sure? And so,
God.
right. I was like, did you consult God first?
Mhm.
But he was like, I feel like this building, we have to buy this building.
Mhm.
A full circle moment. And I think the reason why we went ahead and started Solas, because we knew that the community needed a center where people could come to and have a safe space.
Mhm.
For me, and I think that's why for me, I was like, hey, let's do this. For me, I wanted to have a safe space somewhere where I was comfortable. So I wanted, when we got into the building, we did a walkthrough, and I was like, wow. And I walked through with my realtor and my husband, and I never posted this or talked about it either, but
Exclusive, y'all. Exclusive.
it was I used to work in that building, the old
Really?
Horizon building.
Wow.
And so I would walk up the halls I was dedicated to
Mhm.
working any job I had. And I would walk up the halls and I'm like, I could do this. I could do this. I could provide services like this. Like I
Mm-hmm.
could be, and at the time it was Horizon.
Mm-hmm.
And at the time I was like, I could do this. And I remember talking to a lot of different people, and somebody had told me too, like I remember you talking about this.
Wow.
So we walked through the building and I seen it was a board, and granted it said 2021, but I seen this board and my name was still up on the board. And I think it was like for harvest, like fall or
Mm-hmm.
autumn thing. And it said like until the last leaf falls. And my name was up, among with other, people that
Yeah.
work there. And for me, I'm like, you know what?
Mm-hmm.
I think this is God saying, like, let's go ahead and go
Yeah.
through with it. It's gonna be okay.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna get through it. And from there, they told us it had to be residential. So we
Mm-hmm.
said, okay, still we'll still provide housing. We're able to
Mm-hmm.
still provide housing in it. We're still able to do event and community center, activities for
Mm-hmm.
the people in the program. I think it was just about getting the current clients that we had out of the home and getting them out into the community. It was very hard to transition some people into the community. I had
Okay.
already saw it
Mm-hmm.
where they came from institutions. I had people
Yeah.
who've been hospitalized for
Mm-hmm.
14 years.
Wow.
And for them to come out into the community, for me to provide housing for them, but also I wanted to provide a space where they could feel safe, where they
Mm-hmm.
could feel, where they could, go and fellowship with other people, even if it was, like their own,
Yeah.
like themselves. I think that's where it kind of came from. And then my husband said, well, I think let's open up a day center. Like let's, and so eventually we do want Solace to be a adult day center so we're able to provide activities and all type of events and workshops for the disabled and mental health population.
And that is so needed. I am the mother of a special needs adult now. She's
Yes,
18.
yes.
And to have a place like the Solace, I'm excited to see what you guys have.
Thank you.
You know,
Thank you.
it's
Thank you.
it's a beautiful place.
Thank you. We're growing. We're not where we want to be, but we gonna get there.
Oh, yes, you will.
Thank you.
Okay, so listen, I'm not going to keep you because you're doing all the things.
It's
Um,
okay.
what advice would you give someone who's watching or listening who's in the middle of their own pivot, or they may feel a little stuck trying to figure out what's next? What advice would you give them?
I think it's just waiting on God.
Mm-hmm.
I think praying for sure,
Mm-hmm.
seeking Him and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Um, don't make a decision out of emotion or don't
Yes,
compare yourself.
exactly.
For a lot of times, like a lot of times, I will compare myself to say like,
Mm-hmm.
I want this big old house on the hill. But then, I sat back and was like, I've had conversations with myself to say, you know what, you have everything you need right now. Like God has given you exactly everything that you possibly need right now, and just wait on me. So I think it's just letting everybody know, don't look at what's in front of you. Like
Mm-hmm.
always just keep that vision. If God gave you a vision, if He promised you something, if He told you something, just stay close to that. Just keep that with
Yes.
you. So
If God said it, that settles it.
yeah, for sure, for sure.
What's
So
next for Mrs. McClain?
so I'm inspired by today. Like I feel like I am, I'm on your podcast, but I do want to start, speaking a little bit more, using my voice. I do feel like um I wanted to I launched my podcast last
Mm-hmm.
year, but
Now
everybody
that's Talks with Terry.
yes, Toss of Terry the podcast. I launched it last year, but I felt like God was telling me not yet.
Not yet.
And so I had to listen. I had to be obedient. I think that's the main thing for me
Mm-hmm.
is just being consistent, staying grounded in who I am, not letting outside influences, affect my judgment or how I move, and just
Mm-hmm.
trying to strive every day to be the better person. Like just
Amen.
to wake up and be something different, and not be something different, but to just have another opportunity to get it right. If that
Right.
makes sense, or do things the right way. So,
I like that. Do
so
things the right way.
yeah.
I wanted to ask you to this interview because when I heard you speak at the Girls and Boys Club,
Okay.
it was really inspirational.
Really?
And you were talking about all the things. I'm like, she did all she did what? When do you find time to do all the things?
And you know,
And this
that's
was before the wellness center.
yeah. And I think because then too, I had one property in Alta Vista, you know, by myself, and then my second property in Lynchburg, and then, you know, from there, I think when me and my husband merged together, we just, you know, he had three other properties himself. I think it was just where just trying to I was everything, you know, and I think that's what we were saying. We were talking about that's where the strength came from. You know, for me, I want to be everything. I want to know how it is being a staff, being a DSP. I want to know. I want to be the tax preparer, even though I'm not, you know, certified. You know, even though I don't have that.
Yeah.
I want to know that stuff. For me, it's just about continuing to learn.
Yeah.
I want to know how my business operates. I want to make sure that my clients are happy, that my residents are happy. But also, I have been having more time for myself. I've had time to rest, process things, you know, and then like vacation whenever I can. So, you know, that's always my outlet. So
That is so awesome.
yeah, thank you.
So where can people find Miss Terri McClain? Or if they need the Solace's services, how can they get in touch?
Yeah, so our website, we're working on our website right now, but everybody can go follow Solace Wellness Center on Facebook. We're on Instagram, Talks with Terri. We are on Facebook and Instagram as well. I am Talks with Terri on TikTok as well. So if you look up Terri McClain or Terri Tucker, you'll probably find me. So, but yeah.
Yes. Well, thank you all for tuning in, and we thank Mrs. McClain for sharing her story.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you guys for having me. I definitely want to come back again, and I hope we can continue to do some great things together as well.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, for sure.
Yes, it's a good time at the Solace, y'all.
Okay, yes, for sure.
All right.
All righty.
Okay, and that's a wrap.